2025. It's Bloomatea here, or Blooma for short. Today's video is my wisdom teeth removal fail. It was so bad. The memories. It began when I realized my insurance was about to expire and my time to get my wisdom teeth needed to be removed was approaching. I could feel the pain start to form around the wisdom teeth area, and I had to face my fear of the dentist. I'm terrified of the dentist and needles. Weirdly enough though, this happened around Christmas time, which, spoiler alert, I call it the Christmas curse. Okay, my fear grew when my sister got her wisdom teeth removed prior to mine, and she didn't really have a good recovery, and so I was scared to get mine because I knew my turn was coming, as my wisdom teeth was hurting badly. Like, they were popping up, it was getting sore, oh, the pain. So I tried to think of every excuse I could think of. Like, oh, I can't do this, I'm busy with this, blah blah blah. But bad idea. I tried to ignore the pain, but it didn't work. Unluckily, around this time I did end up losing my job, but you know what, in hindsight it was probably for the best because of what happened next. Well, when the time came, I couldn't eat prior to the surgery as they were going to put me under anesthesia, so you can't eat for like, I think 12 hours before. Don't quote me on that. But that was even the worst part. Earlier I mentioned how I hate needles, and I hate them. They're the bane of my existence. And they were ready to poke me with it. They offered to put it in my hand or in my arm, and I wanted to do the hand because I feel like, I don't know, I just thought it would be easier to handle. It was not. They tried the hand, and I guess they couldn't get it in the vein properly, so they had to take it out of my hand and then get ready to put it in my arm because that's where most of the blood was flowing and they can get a good angle on it, I suppose. I don't know about you, but whenever a needle comes into view or I get poked with a needle, like a shot or getting blood drawn or something like that, I always end up feeling faint or wanting to throw up. The last few times I did get a needle in my arm, I did end up throwing up, so I did warn them. But they said it would be fine since I hadn't eaten prior to this. Yeah, well, I ended up throwing up. I ended up throwing up stomach acid since there wasn't really anything in my stomach to throw up. So I ended up throwing up just like a little spit up of like acid. And I was just ended up dry heaving at that point. Thank God for my husband. He was my fiance at the time. Was by my side as I succumbed to the darkness. A few hours later, I ended up coming to. I don't remember much, but I do remember coming home and wanting to sleep. But as the days passed, I couldn't eat solid foods because you know, they just took my not molars out, but my wisdom teeth out. So my main source of food was applesauce and water. And that was pretty much it. Around this time, Christmas was approaching and it was in a couple days, but that's when the pain started to spread from my wisdom teeth area to my throat. And swallowing became a lot harder, so it was harder for me to intake food and water. Plot twist though, I had strep throat. Not eating properly and feeling the pain, my husband was my rock at that point. I ended up being bedridden as I didn't really have the energy to leave the bed due to the lack of nutrients mixed with the pain that kept me in bed. At one point, I did decide to try to get out of bed and get my own water as I felt like I was being a burden to my husband. But as I went to the kitchen to grab myself a cup of water, I ended up falling over and almost fainting as I just didn't have the strength to hold the glass cup or even walk a far distance. I did black out for a couple of seconds, but my husband luckily was there to help me up and put me back in bed. He also made and prepared soft foods for me to eat. He also fed me and bathed me as I didn't have the strength to do either. He's literally the best. Eventually, I did go to the hospital on Christmas as I did have a Christmas party the day prior to that. My family usually hosts a Christmas party on Christmas Eve, so the whole family can see each other, and then on Christmas we would all spend Christmas with our own individual families. But on Christmas Day, the pain was just so much that I had to go to the hospital, and that's when I did find out it was strep throat. And they gave me antibiotics, which started to help, and it helped keep my strep throat pain away, and I was able to start eating more foods, getting my appetite back, and soon enough I was good as new. A week later into the new year, which this happened a couple years ago, I ended up getting a job offer and started my new job then, so I guess life was back on track for the better. And I don't know about you, but I'm gonna blame the Christmas curse. But yeah, that was my wisdom removal teeth horror story. Luckily, I don't ever have to go through that again. Hopefully. Well, I don't have any more wisdom teeth to take out, so I think I'm good. If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I will post my next video hopefully soon. Bye bye!